Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to be talking about bar graphs. Bar graphs are another way to show information in a chart. There can be two different types of bar graphs. They can be vertical, where the lines go straight up and down, or they can be horizontal, where the lines go across. We'll practice both of those today. What we're going to do is we will do a few pages together, and then you're going to have some independent work to do. So let's start. The vertical bar graph shows the number of home runs hit by 5 members of a baseball team. There's Fred, Greta, Kim, Susie, and Vaughn. We see on the side here, this is the number of home runs they hit, and it's going up by 2. So, number 7 says, write a multiplication equation that compares the number of home runs Susie hit to the number of home runs Kim hit. Well, let's see here. We have Susie, who hit 8 home runs, and Kim hit 2. So we know that Susie had more. How many more? Well, how do we get from 2 to 8? We have to multiply that by 4. So Susie equals Kim times 4. Number 8 says to write a division equation that compares the number of hits Greta hit compared to Fred. Well, Greta had 6. Fred had 18. So we know that we need to do Fred divided by something is going to equal Greta. Now, how many 6s are there in 18? If you said 3, you are correct. Fred divided by 3 would give you Greta. How many times as many home runs did Vaughn hit as Greta? Well, let's see here. Vaughn hit 12 and Greta hit 6. So how many times more did he have? 6 to 12. He had 2 times as many. Which player hit 1/6 as many home runs as Vaughn? Well, let's see here. Vaughn again had 12. 1/6 of 12, that means 12 divided by 6 would equal 2. So which player had 2 home runs? Yep, it's Kim. Okay, last one. This year, Fred hit twice as many home runs as he hit last year. How many did he hit last year? So if you hit 18 this year, and this year was twice as many. Well, let's see here. So we'd have to do 18 divided by 2 to see how many he hit last year. So last year he hit 9. Good for him for improving. Now we're going to go on to the next page and we're going to look at a horizontal bar graph. In a horizontal bar graph, it's the same information, it's just tilted the other way. There's really no difference between the two except for which one you prefer if you're making it. So in this bar graph, they asked what the favorite hobbies of Lakeview School 4th graders were, and their choices were reading, art, music, or sports. So this graph is going up by 5 at each line. Let's use the bar graph to answer the questions below. How many 4th graders said reading was their favorite hobby? So we're going to go to reading, go all the way to the end, and then come down to see that 35 picked reading as their favorite hobby. Which hobby is the most popular? Well, to figure that out, we see which one is the longest bar, and it was sports. How many students chose it? Again, we go all the way to the end and down, and we see that 40 kids chose it. Number 3 says, which hobby is half as popular as sports? So we have to think, well, what's half of 40? I know half of 40 is 20. So which one got 20 votes? Oh, art. How many more students picked reading than art? Well, now we need to subtract. So we have reading had 35 minus art had 20. So our answer will be 15. Number 5 says, altogether, how many students picked art or music? So we have to add those two up, art and music. So let's see here. Art had 20 and music had 25. So our answer is 45. We're going to do one more page together, and then I'm going to give you your assignment. We're going to do one more vertical bar graph, but I wanted to talk about this one because look at the bars here. The side goes up by 6, and sometimes the bar ends halfway between the numbers. Well, if it's going up by 6, what would be a halfway number of 6? Did you say 3? Okay, so we're going to have to remember that when we get to the ones that are halfway, we're going to have to take this number and add 3. For example, number 7 says, how many DVDs rented on Monday were dramas? So we're going to go over here to drama, and I see that it goes past the 48. It goes halfway between 48 and 54. And we said that halfway is going to be plus 3. So 48, 49, 50, 51. Number 8, what is the least popular type of movie? So I'm going to look for the shortest bar, and I see it is animation. How many fewer animation movies were rented than comedy? So now I have to look. There were 36 comedy, and there were 18 animation. And because it says how many fewer, I know I need to subtract. And my answer is 16. Number 10 says, is the total number of action and animation DVDs, I'm going to underline that, the total number of action and animation DVDs rented more or less than the number of dramas? How much more or less? So this is a bit of a multi-step problem. We're going to start by figuring out action and animation. Well, we know that animation has 18 and action has that halfway point. So we have to do 18 plus 3, 18, 19, 20, 21. So the first thing we have to do is we have to add up 18 plus 21 will get us to 39. Now, is 39 more or less than drama, which had 51? It's less, but that's not the end of the question. It wants to know how much less. So now I have to do 51 minus 39 equals 12. Now, number 11, I'm going to let you do that one on your own because it's kind of a challenge one here. It says, what is the total number of DVDs rented on Monday? So you have to figure out how much each category is and add them all up together. I'll let you do that for extra challenge. Now, your job today, you have 2 sheets that you're going to do. The first one is called newspaper bar graph. It says the local newspaper keeps track of how many subscriptions are sold each month. Use the graph below to answer the questions. So they're keeping track of how many people are ordering the newspaper in December, November, October, September, August, July, June. It's going up, you see, by 300s. So each little dotted line here is going to equal 100. What do you think it would be if it comes in between? Like, for example, it's 900 and 1,000. Well, that would have to be 950. So you're going to answer the questions. There's 4 questions about that one. The next job, you have to actually make the graph and answer questions about it. Esther's school sold raffle tickets last week. The table below shows the number of tickets sold each day. Use the information to create your graph. So on Monday, how many tickets did she sell? 55. So you'll have to make that in the graph. Then you're going to answer the questions about it. And then you stop for today. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know.